take your hand off this $1 million stack of cash keeps it.
9 things Mr. Beast spends his millions on. Jimmy Donaldson, or better known as YouTuber Mr. Beast, has been making videos showcasing his wealth and philanthropy for quite some time now. While we don't know exactly how much he has, we can presume that he surely lives a very comfortable life, especially when we watch his videos. Mr. Beast has even deleted videos off of his YouTube channel in the past in a bid to hide things he's bought or anything that might hint at just how wealthy he is. Mr. Beast has been making videos since 2012 at the age of 13, and most of his videos averaged on 1,000 views each. It wasn't until he made a video in 2017 entitled Counting to 100,000 that Mr. Beast became famous, and the video earned him tens of thousands of views in just a few days. The stunt took him 40 hours to complete, with some parts sped up to keep it under 24 hours. Now, Mr. Beast has 37 million subscribers on YouTube and developed a huge fan base, likely due to his attention-grabbing and expensive stunts. In today's video, we are going to take a look at 9 things that Mr. Beast has spent his millions on. The last one is going to really shock you, so make sure you watch until the end. Charities. Mr. Beast is a big advocate for good causes, and he seems to love giving away money to many charities. Mr. Beast has made countless videos showing him giving away insane amounts of money. In December 2018, Mr. Beast gave away $100,000 worth of items to a homeless shelter, donated $32,000 to a Veterans Army Wounded Warrior program, $70,000 to St. Jude Children's Hospital, and also $10,000 to a local animal shelter in Los Angeles. Mr. Beast was also part of Teen Trees in 2019, a collaborative fundraising challenge event on YouTube. The main goal was to raise $20 million for the Arbor Day Foundation. For every dollar raised, the foundation would plant a tree. As of May 27, 2020, the project has reached over $22 million. Pizza. What is the most you would spend on a pizza? For Mr. Beast, it would appear that money is not an issue. Mr. Beast took his friends Chandler and Chris on a mission to eat some of the most expensive meals in the US. First, they started out with a simple $1 pizza and a $2 hot dog, before taking things to the next level with golden wings for $64, a milkshake that cost $100, and a grilled cheese for $250. The gang didn't stop there though. After trying a $1,000 sundae, Mr. Beast decided to contact his friend, David Dobrik, to see if he would be interested in exploring some really extortionate dishes. First, they tried $2,000 steaks, then a $3,000 pork with 26-year-old Scotch sauce, a $4,000 tomahawk steak with coffee that was processed from a mountain fox, and then they had $5,000 tacos with
Get this amazing offers on Glovo for 400 shillings on
squid ink shells. Mr. Beast's friend Chris said the tacos tasted like
the ocean is swimming in my mouth.
On buying extremely expensive food, Mr. Beast said, I feel like the more expensive food gets, the more it just throws flavor explosions at you. So far, up to this point, the takeaway to this video is more expensive food doesn't actually taste better. But after eating food that most of us would have to work 3 months to afford, Mr. Beast and his friends were not finished. And that is where a $70,000 golden pizza comes in. This pizza was made by a private chef who normally only cooks for billionaires. The pizza is so expensive because the base is covered in an ounce of gold, and then followed with a 10-year-old Parmesan bechamel. The toppings of the pizza are also very expensive. Japanese beef marinade in a $10,000 grape juice and a Hudson Valley foie gras, seared and flambéed with a $6,000 bottle of apple juice. Then, the chef added $4,000 worth of white truffle shavings that were flown in from Italy, and also $16,000 worth of albino caviar, the rarest caviar in the world. After Mr. Beast ate the pizza, he said,
I thought it would be gross, but it's actually really good.
Mr. Beast then gave away anything that he didn't eat to the staff who made it and other guests in the restaurant. Lamborghini. In one of Mr. Beast's videos, he goes to a Lamborghini dealership, dressed up as a homeless man to see if they would let him buy anything and see if he was treated well. As he goes in, he's met with the car salesman who treats him pretty well, to be fair. Then again, this is all probably staged. If you see a homeless guy with a camera crew walk into your workplace, then you'll probably assume it's a YouTube prank and act all cool. He then talks about looking for a car that he can sleep in, and what does it feel like to sleep in one. Mr. Beast then buys a car for about $200,000, even though he looked homeless. And it didn't even come with a cup holder.
There's no cup holder in this.
Who would buy a car without a cup holder? Mr. Beast then gives it a test drive afterwards, just to see where his money's gone. At some point, Mr. Beast's friend Garrett drove the car in a car park and scratched someone else's. So the boys decided to hang out and wait for the car owner to arrive and give him money for scratching his car. Mr. Beast was initially thinking of giving away his Lamborghini for the scratch, but instead he gave the owner $9,000 to make amends. Replacing a friend's house. In one video, Mr. Beast decides to destroy the house of his friend Meredith. He did get clearance from her husband and brother, so I guess that is okay. The husband made a list of things that do not have any sentimental value or things that Mr. Beast can destroy. In the video, we see Mr. Beast destroy everything, from graffiti on the walls to using a chainsaw on a leather chair to setting fire to a refrigerator. Meredith returns to find in horror that her house has been completely destroyed, but Mr. Beast then offers her and her husband 6 credit cards which each have a $5,000 spending limit, so around $30,000 to redecorate the house. So essentially, he's replaced the whole house. I think I would have preferred if he decorated the house rather than get me to buy new things. The video will give anyone with OCD a lot of anxiety. $1 million. Mr. Beast sure does love to show off, so it was no surprise that he decided to make a video in which he gives away $1 million during a last to leave challenge. The 4 contestants of the challenge, who had won previous Mr. Beast challenges before, earned a spot in this grand finale of challenges. The contestants had to place a hand on a case and not remove it. The last person with their hand on the case would then win the money. Mr. Beast said to his contestants,
I don't care if it takes an hour, day, week, month, year. I don't care if it takes a decade. The last one of your hands to come off this $1 million keeps it.
The contestants competed for a shocking 36 hours straight before only one person was left, and the winner was revealed to be a guy called Mark. Mr. Beast said after the competition had ended, "Congratulations to Mark on winning my $1 million giveaway. Each contestant earned his way to compete for the largest cash award I've ever given away. We had a lot of fun and created a lot of memories making this video. I hope my subscribers will help me make it one of the most viewed videos yet." Mr. Beast's BMW. Mr. Beast has tried to hide the fact that he owns a BMW, even going so far as to delete a video he uploaded showing off the vehicle. The clip where he shows off his car is elusive, but you can find it if you search hard enough. The BMW cost $100,000, and it's the slickest, coolest car you could ever set your eyes on. The doors of the car look like the DeLorean car from Back to the Future. The car has interior lights, and it just looks really cool. The reason why Mr. Beast deleted the video is unknown. Maybe he didn't want fans to think he was arrogant with his success, or that he might come across in a negative light for having a sports car. Apps. Apps tend to be fairly cheap to purchase. However, there are a few out there that are ridiculously expensive. If we see an app that is so expensive, we can't help but be curious as to what makes it so pricey. Luckily for us, Mr. Beast has decided to purchase some of the most expensive apps available, as well as indulge us in what is actually in them. In the video, we first see him purchase an app for a $150 app called Only for the Richest and $5 Goes to Charity. Mr. Beast then gets an app for $400 called DDS GP. This is an app for dentists whose content includes videos, x-rays, and diagrams for dentists. This is particularly weird because dentists don't make a huge amount of money. We also see an app for $200 called Vuvuzela World Cup Plus, which just plays an annoying Vuvuzela. And then there is the I Am Rich app, which costs $400, and you basically watch ads to earn diamonds, which is an obvious scam. The most expensive app that Mr. Beast buys is for $1,000, which is called VIP Black. This is an app that gives tips on luxury hotels and destinations, but doesn't offer anything else. In other words, another scam. Golden Steak. In one of Mr. Beast's videos, he and his friends decide to scout out some of the most expensive meals they can buy. They start out by trying Kobe beef, which costs $1,000. During the video, we see Mr. Beast challenge his friends to eat a grasshopper for $100. Then Mr. Beast offers up $1,000 for a bunch of grasshoppers and crickets. Later on, we get to see the $10,000 gold steak wrapped in edible gold. Think of the poops! Mr. Beast was only the second person ever to order the steak, the first being famous Mexican boxer Canelo Alvarez. Mr. Beast is even fed the steak by the chef. If you are paying this much money, you want the best service possible. He probably gets his ass wiped too. I mean, I would expect my ass wiped. The restaurant itself is owned by Salt Bay, the Turkish chef who became an overnight meme for the way he seasons his meat. Everything in a store. In one video, Mr. Beast decides to go to a Save-A-Lot food store and buy everything. He even recruits a bunch of people and a huge van. In the end, he's spent over $70,000 and is presented with the world's longest receipt, which he gladly wears as a tie. Of course, all this food needs to go somewhere, and Mr. Beast then takes all the food to a food shelter and donates everything. I have no idea why he's called Mr. Beast when he seems like such a cool guy, especially when he gives away so much. What did you find most shocking? Do you think Mr. Beast is genuine, or it's all fake? What would you do with $1 million? Please let us know in the comments, and don't forget